All right, y'all, welcome back. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our NBA topic since Jordan ain't here. Hey, Jordan. But I ain't on that today though. I'm trying not to be on that today. But either way, so we got my man Sohan right here. So
What's up,
Sohan,
y'all?
he's been day one really with the stuff. He's behind the scenes helping me out with stuff, giving me information on things or whatever. And he's also UIC alum like the rest of us or most of us. And yeah, so he's actually gonna give us some good NBA content. So I'll let you explain who you are, but I just want to let the folks know that this is an actual legitimate guest. Reasons being, this is Tim Rover's nephew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he actually has some knowledge on. This is the only person, like, if somebody tells me something about some NBA stuff, I'm gonna defer a little bit to So. But outside of that though, Sohan, he's a music producer as well. He's been, really putting out a lot of stuff.
Entrepreneur,
You know,
CEO of a startup.
Yeah, there's all types of stuff. So this my guy right here. So let them know who you are, man.
Yeah, man. My name is Sohan Grover. Music producer, CEO of startup, doing all types of stuff. Just a pure hustler. You know what I'm trying to say.
All right. So go ahead and just get into some NBA stuff. And as you guys know, the All-Star weekend just wrapped up. Regular season started back up. I want to say that Wednesday, either that Wednesday or that Thursday last week.
Yeah, Thursday, I think.
Yeah. We had a couple of games. Nothing really too crazy. It's another regular season. What a lot of people don't know though is that since the NBA season started earlier this year, the All-Star break really didn't change. So usually it's like a half and half situation where it's like that's the first half to the second half. Where right now I think they only really got about like
3/4 of the way.
Yeah, like they only got about like 28 games or something like
24,
that.
Yeah.
24, yeah, something like that. So fuck with you. But yeah, so this is really the latter end of the season. So the way the standings are right now, they'll change a little bit, but I think they're kind of set. You're not going to see no crazy ass jumps like that, right?
Oh, I mean, the West is crazy. I mean, there's like 5 teams that have 26 losses. In the last
I think
column,
from OKC down to like the 10th seed.
Even like Minnesota, like the Clippers are still in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know that for the 5th through 8th seed out west that's a damn shit show.
Did you see the game last night where Zaza fell on Westbrook?
He was mad as hell. He dirty.
Dirty as hell.
Zaza's dirty. Zaza's dirty.
You know what? I think he is because I mean this is not his first time doing it. This is like his 4th or 5th time doing this. It's not like something that's common to see a player doing this kind of stuff.
I was thinking that too. Like before, like they were saying that he's dirty, and I'm like, you know what? Like he's just been getting caught up on dumb plays. The only reason why I said that is because I remember KD, he got hurt that first season when they, but that was because he clumsy. I'm just thinking he clumsy, but he be doing some
No, like
shit.
last night he fell on top. There was no way, like there was no push, there was no shove. You could see like clearly he just fell on top of him. There was no like instant he could have just stood up and nothing would have happened. So.
We'll have to talk about that one because that one kind of blows me. But the one thing that I did notice was Cleveland's first loss with the new look Cavs. And so when they made the trades, when they got Larry Nance, they got everybody they need to get, Jordan Clarkson and them, Ronnie Hood. They had a pretty hot 2 games. They were getting it in, but coming off of this All-Star break. They just took an L to Washington.
Was it Washington?
Yeah, it was Washington. They took an L to Washington without Bradley Beal, or without John Wall. Bradley Beal pretty much was, he was running the team. And first thing, I don't know if it's my lack of NBA knowledge, but I mean, I feel like I'm pretty up to date, pretty hip on that stuff. But I ain't know who the hell their point guard was for Washington. It was some foreign guy. I think he's either foreign or white. I don't remember his name, but
was it like something with a long ass
last
name?
Yeah, it was an S.
Something like that.
But I'm just like, I don't know who this guy is. So I'm looking at the highlights of the game. Shout out Oprah Side, what's good? But I'm looking at the highlights of the games, and I'm like, they really are losing to nobodies. And the reason why they bought in, one of the reasons why they bought in the quarter they did was that they wanted to get younger. And they wanted to get faster, and they wanted to get better defense. And when I was looking at the highlights of that game, that defense it looked damn near identical to what it was before, where you seeing wide open dunks in the lane, dips, dives, all types of stuff. Nobody's cutting anybody off. No one's helping. Like I saw Gortat low-key dunked LeBron ass like the first quarter, like the first 5 minutes of the game. I'm like, the hell going on?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's also a mix of the defense, which has not gotten any better, and also like the 3-point shooting has even gotten worse in my opinion. Like, yes, they won like a few games beforehand, but I mean, it wasn't going down in Washington. And like, if they go through a whole series in the playoffs like that, there's no way they're gonna make it to the finals if they go cold like that. I still think they will make it to the finals because it's just the East, but I mean, I can't see them, being the Warriors or even the Rockets if they get that far. So like, because they could go cold any series.
Right. Scoot up a little bit. So with that one, the thing that I noticed, and like you said with the 3-point shooting, a lot of people just base stuff off the numbers. So when they brought in what's the light skinned fella, the point guard,
George Hill.
Yeah, when they brought in George Hill, and they were talking about his 3-point field goal percentage. I think it was like some stupid like 47%, and I'm like, we know George Hill. You know who George Hill is.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying the boy can't shoot, but
that's all he did for Indiana. So.
Yeah, but I know for a damn fact he ain't out here stroking that bitch like a real 47%. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many shots?
But then again, who was watching him on Utah?
Who's watching him? But even he switched over to Sacramento.
Oh yeah, well there you go.
That's one thing right there. The fact that you couldn't stay there, but so you're over at Sacramento. You know how Sacramento's record is. So if you're wetting it at 47%, and you're like damn near last in the Western Conference, close to last in the NBA.
It's skewed a little bit. So.
It's skewed. I'm not trying to hear that one. I know people are really high about Rodney Hood.
But wouldn't you have to be taking more threes since you're, in a higher percentage, you're in a weaker team, though?
I don't know. Like, Sacramento's so bad that we can't even put, like, that basic kind of assumption on them. You don't know what the hell they're doing in Sacramento.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
You just don't. Like, it's not, and then the fact that they're out west, so their games come on at 11:30.
Yeah.
And then too, nobody's playing them, so you're never really gonna see a Sacramento game like that. Same way people out west don't see Nets games.
Right. That is very true.
But even with that, and then we got the rest of those guys. So we got Larry Nance, we got Rodney Hood, and like I know people really appreciated Rodney Hood. They feel like he's like one of the most underrated players in the league right now, and that that could be true. He could be really underrated, but being underrated and actually being like having star power, being able to be that guy and be like certified, stamped, you're that dude that's out here scoring like that. It's two different things.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like JR, somebody sips JR somewhere, JR, he gonna give you some games.
I stated to a friend when I was watching the game the other night about JR, I was like, whatever happened to his hops? Yeah. Remember when he used to like jump over everybody and was athletic and was like, all he does is shoot threes now and doesn't do anything else.
I mean, we gotta think about, he old now though. People really don't think about how old J.R. Smith is.
No, because I mean, he kind of doesn't act like it.
He's been in the league. He's been in the league for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the way he acts, you wouldn't think that he was like.
Yeah. He, like, to me, he remind me of like your drunk uncle at the barbecue that don't be doing shit, he just be there all the time smoking weed.
But somehow he's good at that. Somehow you be busting him off.
Yeah, so with all that, we're talking about the roster of Cleveland, but I mean, everybody got real excited about it off of those first couple of games, and I'm like, they're good. They're better.
But they're not that much better.
You're not that much better. No. Larry Nance is good, but he ain't that.
I think the
good.
Lakers got such a great deal out of it because I mean, they have room for cap space. They can even land LeBron if they wanted to, plus an extra superstar.
They have the ability to double up on max contracts.
Yeah.
And so what that does is you can land two of the biggest names possible, but if you only land one, you got enough money to really fill up that bench.
And the Lakers are not that far off, to be honest with you, in their rebuilds. You know, they're almost done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the fact that I think Kuzma is better than Lonzo and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, but
I think like if based on what the Lakers do this summer, if they make a decent move to get, because they said Kawhi might be out of there, they could trade around for him.
But you see, I don't like Kawhi quite anymore because of the injury.
I know he's not, but that's still even Kawhi. If Kawhi was better than Luol Deng.
I mean, of course,
what I'm saying? Like,
course,
Kawhi may not be that guy, but they don't need that guy.
But what if Kawhi's like Derrick Rose now and like keeps getting injured over and over because he hasn't played for almost 2 years now? So it's like it could be going down that road. So, but
like PG. If PG decides to go over there, if they do have the ability to land a LeBron.
But PG is like one of those mid-level superstars where it's like he's good, but he's not a big game changer like he was in Indiana.
But that's why we say that the Lakers, their rebuild is damn near done because they don't need a gigantic 5-star superstar. If they can land like a 4.5-star guy and grab a couple of 3 stars, their team's solid. You got some decent bigs or some decent 4s. Maybe grab a couple of bigs and then get a little bit of star power. And they have such young talent. And I think next year if they make a B. If they get a B over the summer as far as the moves they make, their rebuild officially be over. Like, I think they'll be within playoff contention. I'm not saying high seeds, but within contention. They can be like Denver. They can come back to be Denver or Portland.
Speaking of Denver, Jokic is probably the best underrated player in the NBA right now. Like, this man has put up a triple-double in like 14 minutes. That was sick. That was unbelievable.
You're right. Like, I feel like a lot of people really...
And Denver is such a hard place to play. Like, once they could start winning on the road, like if they start like making the playoffs and they could get like a home like court advantage, it's so difficult to win in Denver because of the altitude. It's like such a huge home court advantage, Yeah. So I mean, like Denver is a team to look out for, even though no one's talking about either. So
it's just like whenever people talk about like the most underrated players, like we talk about Ronnie Hood, like. Yeah, Ronnie Hood is not Jokic.
No, Jokic is unbelievable.
Like that's an underrated player. That's a guy where if you bring him somewhere to like a Cleveland, that's a dude that's gonna make such a significant change to your roster.
And he's probably the best passing big man I've ever seen.
Dude, he like the dimes. Like it's like damn near every game he's giving you a no look. Right there.
And this is like a 7-foot center.
Right. Like, and he's so skilled. Yeah. And even though he's not the most athletic dude, like he still has enough athleticism to move with you.
I feel like that just comes with the foreign package. Like you're just gonna get skilled players. Like there's so much more, defined, than American players. American players are just way more athletic and get overpowered that way. But
the skill set's not as crisp as usually a foreign guy's is.
Right. Like the foreigners could shoot. Like they could do like all the basics.
That's why like Lauri's, he's so skilled.
Right, he's so skilled.
He's a little bit athletic, so it's like, damn, you get.
He's like a little bit more of an athletic Dirk, which is kind of scary.
It is because if you get a good roster around him, and the Bulls actually develop him, and that'd be nuts.
Well, the Bulls got a long way to go, in my opinion. I mean, I've seen progress this year, where it's like with that 10-game winning streak, that like, okay, they got a bright future, but. They still have a really long way to go.
What was super low key, and it goes with this, is for the All-Star Weekend when it was Team World versus Team USA. Dude, Team World looked good. Like the guys they had on there, like.
But to be honest with you, I expected Team World to like just dominate because
just like that shows you like that balance of power where it's like, all right, the United States is just so overwhelmingly good. It's like. Nah, these other countries are really starting to catch back up.
No, I mean, like, if you even the preseason, the games, they'll bring over teams from, like, Europe. Like, they'll bring in over, like, Real Madrid to play, like,
and, like, it's a couple of times where they get a W.
And, like, these European teams will get a W, and you'll never expect them to. I mean,
we don't talk about it. The media doesn't talk about it.
And you would never expect it to because, like, the NBA, I guess the teams will take it easy, won't play their, like, starters the full way or whatnot. But regardless, though, you're still an NBA team. I mean, you lose to, like, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Like, you know how much these NBA players are making versus how much these guys are making.
Can you imagine soccer if like those Real Madrid, Barcelona would lose to like MLS teams?
Oh God,
like,
it wouldn't even work.
Fuck, like, can you imagine that?
Yeah, it wouldn't go.
Like, that's how I feel about.
This is the same thing.
That's like,
and I hate how we don't talk about it. I think like the OKC had lost to a team like that. I know Orlando did before.
OKC almost lost to an Australian team in the preseason. Like, it was like something like Melbourne something.
Close
like
as hell.
Close as hell, yeah.
Close as hell.
Like, it's kind of crazy, and it's like, maybe the NBA isn't the exact best. You gotta think about these things. Even like, you can see in the Olympics, like, where it's like, where these players would struggle. Like, I would see Klay Thompson struggle out there in the Olympics. And it's like, this man's making threes that, like, in front of like two players in his face and everything like that.
Right.
I can't make an open shot in the Olympics. Like, what's going on?
And it even goes to like track and field day. I know you notice that too. Like Team USA, they're usually the most athletic team, but the teams will lose to other guys that are more skilled. And that's the thing. It's like when you're skilled.
So it's like Jamaica's more skilled, or like
no, Jamaica's just for faggots. They're skilled as hell, and they're more athletic. Yeah, but right. So it's just, a lot of the times we'll see foreign countries are usually more skilled in like field events and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But the United States, they usually just more powerful or whatever.
Of course, it could overpower.
And it has gotten to the point where it's like their skill set is kind of still stayed there. It's still like pretty much well above ours.
Yeah.
But now it's like, all right, now people are learning how to work out. People are learning how to, versus taking that time to get the skill. It's like,
right.
Oh, I already got the skill. You telling me I just got to go squat a little bit? Oh, bet. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, it makes everything a lot more easier.
Spain out here squatting like a mud, getting hops and shit.
No, that makes a lot more sense, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
and it's the same thing. It seems like that's like how athleticism throughout the world is going on. Where the United States was that powerhouse just off of athleticism. The rest of these countries are catching up, and you can see it in a multitude of sports.
Right, of course, and to reverse on that, if we could, like, from NBA to like soccer, that's cool. Like, I feel like that's kind of similar to what's happening, because we're playing catch up to the world, in my opinion, but like,
soccer, how skilled is soccer though?
But you see, the thing is though, is that like, there's certain sports like soccer where it's like, skills like outweigh every single physical aspect, because if you don't have the skill, you can't play at all, because you could be the fastest, strongest, whatever, but if you don't have like the nicest
coordination,
touch,
if you don't have the coordination,
you can't do it, and like, I feel like, that's something that, like, we have to learn and pick up and whatnot, is the skill asset, because sooner or later in the Olympics of basketball, like, America's not going to win by 20 anymore. America's going to lose a lot of games
in
soon.
20 years.
So, like,
these are going to be actual games.
Yeah, these are actually going to be competitive games, and it's going to be more like soccer, where it's like, it's an open field for anybody, so.
And for everyone, that's what competition is. All right, y'all, we'll be back with gaming.